I asked over 100 mule deer guides what the best deer hunting cartridge is, and the results kind of surprised me. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Steven, and a few months ago I did a video where I asked over 100 elk hunting guides what the best elk cartridge was. I went to places like Facebook groups, Instagram, hunting forums, all over the internet asking for opinions on what the best elk hunting cartridges amongst elk guides, and I had well over 100 responses to that survey. A lot of people here on YouTube seem to like that video, so I figured let's do it for mule deer now. So same as last time, I put this survey out there asking for mule deer guides and their opinions. What cartridge do they use, or what do they recommend to their clients? And I got a wide variety of answers, more so than the elk, but I have tallied up all the responses, and we're going to talk about the top 5 most recommended mule deer cartridges, at least amongst mule deer guides. Now, before we jump into the top 5, I want to shout out a couple honorable mentions. We had 2 that really stood out and got quite a few votes that just didn't quite make the top 5, and that is the 243 and the 25-06. Both of these are super low recoiling deer cartridges that are extremely popular out here in the West. They are very flat shooting, very quick, but again, they just didn't quite have enough votes to get them into that top 5, but wanted to point those out because I think those are both excellent options. And with that being said, we're going to get into number 5 now, and interestingly enough, we had a tie for number 5. What's even funnier is that the 2 that tied for number 5 are polar opposites and very highly debated cartridges, at least here on my YouTube channel, because we have the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 30-06. 2 very different cartridges, but both very effective for deer, so it doesn't surprise me to see them here on this list. On one hand, you have the 6.5 Creedmoor. I have killed quite a few deer with this. Very low recoiling, very flat shooting, and it has become super popular over the last decade or so. Ammo is very reasonable, easy to find, and this is actually what my son will be using this year on his deer hunt. So very effective. I've seen a lot of deer get killed with the Creedmoor. Doesn't surprise me to see it on this list, but I'm a little surprised to see it make the top 5. And on the other side, we have the 30-06. This is another one that actually kind of surprised me. I always considered the 30-06 a little bit more of an elk cartridge, and it did come in very high on that list, but I've also killed deer with this as well. And a lot of guides mention that where this shines is that it can double as a deer and elk cartridge, whereas the Creedmoor, while yes, it can kill some elk, probably not the first pick amongst many people. And when it comes to both of these, I feel like hunters either love them or hate them. But no matter what, you can't argue that they're both effective for killing deer, and they're both not going anywhere anytime soon. So coming in as a tie at number 5, the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 30-06. Let's jump into number 4. In 4th place, we have another tried and true classic, and that is the 308. Now, a lot of people that commented the 308 said a lot of the same things, that it is very reliable, ammo is dirt cheap, and recoil is fairly mild. So you mix all that together, and a hunter can get a lot of trigger time, a lot of practice for not a lot of money and not beat their shoulder up. Now, is it the flattest shooting cartridge? No, there's a lot of better options out there. But within 300 or 400 yards, this thing gets the job done just fine. And a lot of guides mention that they'd rather see a client show up with a 308 that they can shoot confidently than a bigger Magnum that they can't. And this is one that I have got a lot more trigger time behind this year. Really like the 308 and happy to see it here on the list, coming in so high on the list. But let's get into the next one. And coming in at number 3 is one that I actually don't own. I don't have any ammo for. It's one that I am currently looking at buying. Similar to the 308 is the 708. Overall, I was pretty impressed the amount of responses and comments I got about the 708. Doesn't ever seem to get the attention it deserves, but guides seem to love it. You get a lot of the same benefits of the 308, but less recoil, a little flatter shooting, and again, ammo is just everywhere and very available. A lot of guides also mention that this is a good option for women or kids because of that lesser recoil. And so put all that together and you have one very versatile deer killing machine that has a lot of the benefits of the 308, but again, you have a little bit flatter trajectory, a little less recoil, and I really need to pick one up for myself. So if you have any suggestions for me on what rifle to get in a 708, Let me know down below in the comments. But with that being said, we're going to move on to number 2, which I actually currently don't own, but I do have experience with, and that is the 7-rim mag. Now, I've killed a few animals with the 7-rim mag before, and it doesn't surprise me at all to see it here on our list. I feel like this is one of those cartridges that just kind of owns Western hunting, and for good reason. Super flat trajectories, and it gives you a little bit of margin for error out to those longer shots. Several guides told me that out to 500 yards, it carries a perfect blend of accuracy and energy. Yes, it kicks more than other options here on our list, but it can also double as an elk rifle as well. So even with the new cartridges out there like the 7 PRC, which was mentioned quite a bit amongst mule deer guides at least, the 7-rim mag still remains one of the top choices. But it still did come in at number 2. So with that being said, let's get into pick number 1. Now, some of you guys might have been able to guess the number 1 pick, but it is none other than the 270. Now, I love the 270. If you've watched my channel at all, you know that. I've probably killed the vast majority of the deer I've ever killed with the 270. But as much as I love it, I actually didn't expect it to come in as number 1. It does, however, make sense. It's pretty flat, recoil is fairly mild, and ammo is just about everywhere. There's nowhere you can't go and buy a box of 270 off the shelf. So while it's not the flashiest cartridge out there, it is one that just simply gets the job done time and time again. And when it comes to mule deer and the ones that are getting killed every year, I don't think they really care what they're getting shot with. All of these options are going to do just fine. So does it really matter which one came in on top? Probably not. While yes, I do love the 270 myself, I won't be hunting with one this year. I'll be using something that wasn't even here on this list. So at the end of the day, there's one common theme that went amongst every answer that I got to this survey, and that is shot placement. And that was the most common theme I found in the elk video as well, that everybody that put their suggestion or what they were using in the comments also said, hey, it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you get plenty of trigger time, you know what you're doing, and you can make a good shot. Because at the end of the day, if you make a good shot and put that bullet where it needs to go, you will successfully and ethically kill that animal. I think this is the reason why most guides put a lot of these on their list. You'll see a lot of classics here, and that's just because they flat out work, and it will perform time and time again. And I think that's the underlying theme here. Are a lot of these newer, flashier cartridges cool? Do they work? Yes. But sometimes it's hard to beat a classic. So amongst the over 100 responses I got, those were the top 5 picks with a few added extras in there. And again, the 270 coming out as number 1, at least amongst the guides. But this is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is the best mule deer cartridge out there? What are you using this year? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. I really appreciate you guys watching this video and all the support. We'll catch you in the next one.